Yo, Brooklyn Machine Works is making the comeback and they're doing it big with a collaboration with Supreme. We're going to talk about this collab right now. It's been decades since Brooklyn Machine Works and Supreme linked up for a bike collab. If y'all remember, the two linked up for a super rare limited edition 1998 BMX Cruiser collab. And one of those bikes was actually owned by Eric Clapton, and it recently was auctioned off at Sotheby's for a starting price of $50,000. Yo, that's crazy. And what's even crazier is that I didn't even realize Eric Clapton had a BMX bike or was even into BMX, so that's pretty cool. Eric Clapton got that BMX love, you know what I'm saying? So that's what's up. And also 2023, early 2023, Brooklyn Machine Works came out with a limited edition run of some street bikes. So some 20-inch BMX street bikes they came out with, and they also are working on doing a new website, so be on the lookout for that. So they are coming back. They're doing a nice slow comeback, so we're going to stay tuned for that. But back to this bike right here. So it's a Brooklyn Machine Works park bike, front suspension. Basically, it looks like a dirt jumper. So if a bike is set up with front suspension and that aggressive geometry, which favors a BMX style of riding for dirt jumps, parks, tricks, and things like that, it's basically a dirt jumper or a front suspension BMX bike. It's all the same, you know, that they all pretty much have the same type of ride and feel to them. So big up to Brooklyn Machine Works for bringing back their park bike. This is actually V4, so this is the fourth version of this frame. And of course, since this is a Supreme bike, it's got to have that red and white colorway. You know, that Supreme red colorway, of course, with the white Supreme decal on the bike on the down tube. It also has the Brooklyn Machine Works, the new Brooklyn Machine Works logo on the seat tube. The head tube has a big S badge sticker on the front to represent Supreme. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's other decals on the bike, I believe, but I can't see them because I'm only going off the pictures that they had for the promotion. But it does say that the bike features custom Supreme parts. Not sure what parts those are because you have the seat post, the seat, the stem, handlebars, grips, and none of those things have any decal on it except for the seat post. And it's hard to see what the seat post says. Maybe it says Supreme on the side of that seat post. I don't know. Maybe I'll do this in post-production where I zoom in and we can see what it says. But right now I can't see what that says. It may say Supreme on there, but I'm not sure. So seat post clamp, headset, stem, bars, grips, and seat are pretty much unidentified in this picture, and they don't mention what those parts are on the website, on the Supreme website. And if you don't want to go with all red, they also have a black colorway for the frame. White decals, of course, but they have a black colorway, so you can either get this in the red colorway or a black colorway with the white decal. So you got options. Another cool feature about this bike that separates it from pretty much all the modern day hardtail park dirt jumper mountain bikes is it's a 24-inch hardtail. You know, nowadays you can only find kids mountain bikes, dirt jumpers in the 24-inch size. Of course, you know, the adult size 24-inch bikes are usually BMX racing bikes or BMX street bikes, but front suspension hardtails 24-inch are usually meant for the kids. But this bike right here is a 24-inch front suspension park bike, dirt jumper, whatever you want to use it for, which gives this bike a couple of performance advantages. So it's a go-between a 20-inch and a 26-inch, of course, but it also handles a little closer to a 20-inch because of the size of the wheels. It can also be thrown around a little bit easier than a 26-inch. It's a little more responsive than a 26-inch. So you can hop on this bike and not feel twitchy, but still throw it around more like a 20-inch than a 26-inch. But we know all of our modern day riders can get busy on any size bike. So if you get busy on a 26-inch, you can get a little bit more busy on a 24-inch. You'll definitely be able to have a little bit more fun on a 24-inch, I think, than the 26-inch. But both bikes are just as fun, and you can do all the same stuff on a 24-inch that you can do on 26-inch or a 20-inch. So you might actually have an advantage over a 26-inch dirt jumper on the pump track and bring you closer to beating a 20-inch on the pump track, you know, because when you watch those pump track races, Velo Solutions pump track races, a lot of the 20-inch guys are just killing it right now. It's getting harder and harder for the 26-inch guys to make a dent in those races. So a 24-inch dirt jumper, park bike, front suspension can definitely help out with some pump track race action. So on the Supreme website, it says this is a steel frame. So I'm going to believe that this is a 4130 chromoly frame. I don't think it would be any other kind of steel. So I'm going to go with 4130 chromoly on this. And most likely, since it's a Brooklyn Machine Works frame, it's probably heavy. It's probably got some weight to it, you know. I would say the complete bike most likely would probably be in the 30s. Not sure. It's not listed. So if anybody knows the actual weight of this bike, let me know. If anybody knows the actual tubing that was used on there, let me know. Is it 4130? Is it something else? I think it's 4130. So anybody who has those details, definitely leave them in the comments on the YouTube channel or sugarcane.com where the article's written. And also just remember, just because this thing is labeled as a park bike doesn't mean you can't take it to the trails, to the pump track, to the BMX track. You know, all you gotta do is probably change a couple of parts, do a little tweaks, and you can do anything on this bike. Other features on the frame is the Shimano disc front and rear brakes. You got the Shimano Sync cranks, the Marzuki dirt jumper forks, Kenda tires, and DMR pedals. Those are the only things that they listed for the parts on the website. And I knew there was Kenda tires because it says Kenda on the tires. It's very boldly written, Kenda. But that's what we got as far as the parts. So I don't know what the headset is, don't know what the stem is, bars, grips. So there's no information on the geometry of this frame. It looks like the head tube angle is pretty steep. The bottom bracket is higher than the normal dirt jumper, so it looks like it's above the midway point. And there's that really short chainstay length. So this bike is set up for tricks, jumping high bunny hops, no problem, wheelies with the geometry that it has. So this bike is pretty official, has some cool parts on it. And if you hook this bike up with some higher performance parts, then you can go out there and really get busy and not just cruise around because you got the Supreme and you think you cool and all that good stuff. You can actually put this bike to work. All right. Now, you know, since this is a Supreme bike, that it's going to be limited quantities. They do have 2 colorways, so maybe it might be more than what they normally do. But I'm going to assume that it's going to be maybe 40, maybe 50 of these bikes made. I doubt that it's going to be anywhere near 100. Most likely 40 to 50 bikes, if that. Because if I remember correctly, the last collaboration that Supreme did with Brooklyn Machine Works, there was only 36 bikes. So I might be pushing it at 40 and 50. But being that they have 2 different colorways, maybe not. And that brings us to the price of this bike. Yep, you're going to have to dig deep in those pockets to afford one of these bikes because it is coming in at a steep $3,998. I think it's pricey for what it is. As a matter of fact, they might as well have just said it's $4,000. Only a $2 difference. So you ain't fooling nobody. It's a $4,000 bike. And after taxes, it's probably going to be $4,300. So $39.98, might as well say it's $4,000. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you paying for a Supreme branded bike, and it's also a limited edition. So that also adds into the price. You know, if you want a piece of that, you got to pay for it. You know, that's how Supreme does. And I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of hype beast heads out there and a bunch of kids with money that will go out and get this bike for just the status of having the Supreme bike and some superposing action. You know what I'm saying? So, but hopefully we'll see one of these joints in action. There actually is a promo video that they did of the bike with somebody riding around on it by some train tracks and things like that, but there wasn't nobody really getting busy on it. So, you know, for the crowd that likes to get busy and also has that Supreme love, you know, it'd be cool if they did a video with somebody actually getting busy and hitting some street parts, hitting some parks with it, you know, what it's really meant for. So if anybody has this bike that gets busy, definitely tag me on some videos. I want to see them. Maybe I'll post them on the site. So what do you guys think about this bike right here? 24-inch park bike, front suspension, dirt jumper style, ready for some BMX and dirt jumper action for the trails, all that good stuff. With the Supreme branding on it, comes in a red and white colorway and a black and white colorway. What do you think about this collabo? What do you think about 24-inch dirt jumpers, 24-inch park bikes? Do you think they should make a return? I know there was a thing for a while. Now we're just strictly 26. Are some of you guys out there missing the 24-inch dirt jumper? Would you hop on this bike and get busy? Do you think this would be advantageous during the pump track competitions for Velo Solutions when you have the dirt jumpers and the BMXers racing against each other? Do you think that that's going to be an advantage to have 24-inch bikes? This opens a whole different discussion right now because, you know, 24-inch dirt jumpers, we haven't talked about that in a long time. So I want to know your opinions about that. Is that a waste of time or is it a cool thing? I'm a kind of person who likes options, you know, the more the merrier. And also, you know, it's just a whole different kind of flavor right now that a lot of people who ride currently haven't experienced. So I think this is cool, and maybe other brands might make some limited runs of 24-inch dirt jumpers. You know, that might give me an idea. Shoot, I might do that. Shoot, I'll do a sugarcane 24-inch dirt jumper. How about that? I gotta get some money for it, but I'll see if I can do that. All right. So with that being said, big shout out to Supreme. Big shout out to Brooklyn Machine Works. Looking forward to seeing the website and also some of the new things they got coming up. If I find out, I'll definitely plug you guys in. And if Brooklyn Machine Works is watching, definitely send me whatever you got. I want to promote it and let people know what you guys are up to. All right. Also, if you have a BMX brand, a dirt jumper brand, definitely check out the submit section on the website where you can submit articles. If you got parts, bikes, whatever, let me know. Also, if you also want to feature a custom bike, meaning not a stock bike, but anything with custom parts on it, different parts than what a stock bike would have, definitely submit them to Bike of the Day because we're still doing that. Bike of the Day is going strong, and I'm always looking for new BMX bikes, dirt jumpers with front suspension. No full suspension, still holding on to that. I'm not doing full suspension. They have their own thing going on, but dirt jumpers most definitely, trials bikes, flatland bikes, any type of BMX bike, definitely want to check that out. All right, so enough of me rambling. Y'all probably all left already while I was rambling. But if y'all hanging out, definitely join up. Sugarcane.com, become a member. All my members who actually interact with the website gain points on the site, which leads them to move up on the actual chart that I have because I have a membership leaderboard, which is crazy right now. You can gain points by participating on the site, like commenting, liking people's comments, visiting pages, things like that. And when you do that, you get points accumulate and you can move up on the membership top 25 list. And at the end of the year, it's getting real close, I'm going to be giving out a prize to the top member, the member with the most points. And right now I have a member who's way ahead of y'all, but you can catch up if you get active on the site, start liking stuff, start commenting, reactions, all that type of stuff. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna stop rambling. If y'all still here, thanks for riding with me. Like and subscribe like everybody else says. Hopefully by now you guys are liking and subscribing and everything and sharing it and letting people know what's going on. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna shut up now. All right, it's Crazy Al Kane, sugarcane.com, CACTV, and I'm out. Back to you, Billy.